Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is Savory Sewing, a channel where we talk mainly about cross stitch, occasionally other sewing projects, and pretty much anything else that I like. You can also find me on Instagram, also at Savory Sewing. So let's talk about something that I like that's not really cross stitch relating, but sort of is bleeding over into the cross stitch life, and that is my new sweatshirt here. It's kind of huge, but it says, in my cross stitching era, if you know, you know. Those of you who are also Swifties probably have been binge listening to the release of 1989 Taylor's version since, when did it come out, on Thursday, Friday? I know I have, as has my basically entire family, because I come from a family of Swifties who have a unhealthy obsession, I think. All of my siblings, except for me, well, actually, I have three. So two of them and their spouses have gone to the concert and also to the movie already. I have not gone to either, but I hopefully will be going to see the Eras Tour movie at some point. I just need to find a fellow Swiftie in the area to go with. My partner saw like a couple of the videos of all the people getting up and singing, and he's like, I was gonna take you, but then he noped out. So it is what it is. So anyway, got this sweet in my cross stitching era sweatshirt. An early Christmas present. I don't know about y'all, but I have the kind of mother who likes to start Christmas shopping in August. And so even though technically I'm not supposed to be wearing this yet because it's not Christmas, I'm wearing it because why not? Anyway, enough about Taylor Swift and the random what's the word? Not intricacies, quirks and foibles of my family. Let's talk about some cross stitch. So, it's almost the end of October. It is hopefully going to be October 29th, I think, when this gets uploaded, as long as the YouTube gods are in my favor. So we'll do a small October recap, although I still have 3 days of stitching left, so who knows if this is where we'll end up. But usually my goal in October is to touch all of my Halloween whips, and I think I had 5 or 6, and I have touched all of them but one. So I will hopefully get that done in the next couple days. I worked on 15 different projects, and that to me means something that I started, finished, touched, FFO'd, what have you. If I touched it, it counts as a project I worked on in the month. I had 5 new starts, 3 fully finished objects, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, 3 finishes so far. I'm anticipating I'm going to have 4 because I have a small piece that I think I'm going to get finished today. And yeah, I think that was a pretty good month. A lot of my Halloween projects that are in the whip stage are very large, so I wasn't expecting to get them finished. I was just trying to get some progress on all of them so that they will be, someday finishes. So, and I'm reasonably happy with the project that I made, the progress that I've made, and also really excited about my new starts. So with that, let's get started. So I'm going to show you my fully finished objects first. One is going to be a picture, which I'm going to pop in here. This is an ornament that I made for my niece. This is a pattern from Pixie XStitch. I think she has an Etsy and maybe her own website. She's also Pixie XStitch on Instagram. And this is a little mouse named Murray, finished as this little pillow ornament. And I don't remember what this is stitched on. It's stitched with mostly the called for, which was DMC. And I think some of the oranges and yellows might not be exactly the right colors, but it's candy corn. So, whatever works. And this is on its way to my niece to hang on. Actually, I don't know if they have a Halloween tree, but she got a Halloween ornament anyway. She got one last year, and whatever. They're cute. So first FFO was this. If you watched my Halloween whip or finished parade, I think I popped this photo in the end of it, but it hadn't been finished at the time of filming. But I posted the video later after I filmed it, and so I finished it at that time. And so these are the 2 other FFOs that had been not fully finished when I filmed that, but are now fully finished. This is one little ornament. This is a freebie from Bendy Stitchy. This is one of her Hildes. This is Hilde Goes to Market. And I just finished this a little flat fold ornament. I think I might put some trim around it at some point because it, kind of looks a little questionable if you look at it from the side, but whatever. She's very cute. and I'm pretty excited to have her done. She's hanging on my Halloween tree. Yeah. And then the other ornament that I finished is this one. This is from Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think either Halloween 2021 or 2020 issue. It's called All Hallows Night, and in the full pattern, I'll if I can. I think I took a picture of the magazine because I couldn't find it online. I'll pop a picture in. There's more on the bottom of this, but I just didn't want to stitch it. And then this is my first attempt at doing an oval sort of ornament finish. And I think it turned out, I mean, if you look closely, the oval's a little wonky, but don't look closely, folks. Don't look closely. Just admire her beauty as she is, and don't look too closely at the details. So anyway, super excited. She's kind of big. I mean, here's my hand. I mean, she's about as big as my hand. I think she's I think this is 6x3. So she's kind of big for my tree. If I remember, I will put a little video or some pictures of my Halloween tree at the end. And my Halloween tree is pretty tiny and is very, very top heavy with the ornaments right now. So I think that just means I need a bigger tree, right? Don't tell my partner. I think he's, I don't want to say he's like appalled at the amount of Halloween cross stitch that came out of the woodwork this year, but he's just like a little bit like, oh, so this is what you've been doing in the craft room for the last 3 years. And I'm like, yes. See, fruits of my labor. Anyway, I love this. Excited to have more ornaments on my Halloween tree. That was kind of my goal this year, and I'm happy that actually, I got it done. I will say, I think that the FFOing is going to come to kind of a halt here in a minute. Well, it has since, unless it's something like this where I can, use glue, because my sewing machine is currently out of commission. I was trying to put a zipper into a bag the other day and sewed through the tip of my finger and then broke the needle, and now it's making a noise. So it needs to go to the sewing machine repair shop so that I can use it again. It's sewing okay, but it's making a noise, and so something is catching, something in the bobbin case. I don't know. Y'all don't care, but just so you know, this is very important that I will not be FFOing, and the holidays are coming up, and usually there are handmade gifts on the list of things to do, and so I need to get that sewing machine to the store. So this is my reminder to myself. If I say it out loud and put it out into the world, generally I get it done. So anyway, let's move on to finishes that are not fully finished. So this is my first finish of the month. This is called The Witch's Inn. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. I started this on October 1st for Witchy Stitcher Day. This is stitched on, this is 36 count Erie by Forbidden Fiber Co., which is my new favorite fabric for all the things. It's a really pretty purple green mottled. You'll see it on a couple more projects because I am obsessed. It's stitched in the called for DMC, which was the green, the black, and the white. In the original pattern, the witch, it was tan, like 538, one of those, I made her green because she's a witch. She should have green skin. And then I'm sure you can't see it because, oh, maybe you can. Ooh. Okay, the little baubles in single stitches are stitched in the étoile version of the same green, just for fun. And I think I'm going to turn this into a bookmark. I signed up for, and I'll talk about this. Ooh, I didn't put this on my list, but I'm remembering now. I signed up for some Jingle Ball classes, and one of them is the Tiny Modernist bookmark class, and I think I'm going to use that tutorial to turn this into a bookmark. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I don't rarely read actual physical books anymore, but I don't think it's going to make a good ornament, and well, anyway. You'll see next Halloween how I fully finished this, probably. Gonna let that excitement build for the next year. Okay, so the next thing that this was a start and finish. This is Quirky Quaker Cauldron by Darling and Whimsy Designs. This is stitched on 16 count. Picture this plus Valor. I had spoilers here, this long strip left from the bottom of some project, and so I decided it was the perfect size for, some Quirky Quakers, and so I've got Cauldron here, and then this is a new start, might as well show you now. That's Witch Hat, and then I also have I have Ghost and the Candy Corn Freebie, and so I think I'm going to stitch Ghost and then make them into little ornaments. And so they're all stitched. I'm going to always stitch on the same fabric, and then I'm using, these are hand dyed by Rolanda, put out a Halloween floss pack. This is last year's. I know there was a similar one this year, and I've been using these to stitch these little ornaments. And so there's a purple variegated, which if you watched a couple of videos ago, I did Come We Fly by Primrose Cottage, and this was my vacuum cleaner color. And then like this is the black gray variegated and the purple, and then this one's got some greens and oranges in it. And then there is just a solid orange. There's two more colors. There's a solid orange and there's something else, but these are the ones I've used so far. So you can see I'm working on the witch hat, and I've used the purples and the gray. And then I think there's some more little like Quaker motifs up here and down here. And then there's brooms all around. So I think I need to pull yellow for the brooms, but I don't want orange brooms. Well, I have no problem making things any color I want. I am a traditionalist sometimes. So, you know, it's everyone's prerogative to stitch how they want. So anyway, this is a finish, Quirky Quaker Cauldron. I totally love it. I don't, it'll probably be an ornament, though I think it would make a really cute pillow. But we'll see. We shall see. So there is another finish and another star. And then I also stitched, this is Boo by Hello from Liz Mathews. This was in this magazine last year. So if you have the fall 2022 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher or the digital version, that pattern is in here, but she's also released it as a full pattern that's like on her website and probably in shops and what have you. But I just finished this yesterday, and it's stitched on, this is Creme Brulee by Forbidden Fiber Co. 36 count linen. And then the called for is, it's a fancy floss with the DMC conversion, I think. And I don't think I had any other colors, so I just picked from stash something that looked right. I mean, it was a light orange, dark orange, a brown orange, a gray, and a black. So, and I really, really liked this corner of the way the modeling was on this fabric. I'm regretting that I didn't just tuck this down just a little bit further, because I think I am going to make a pillow out of this, and I really don't. Anyway, I kind of wish I'd put it closer, because I only need like 1/4 of an inch to stitch a seam, and I like this big blob of, you know, undyed dyed situation, but it'll be fine. It'll be a cute little pillow for years to come. So yeah, so this is my third finish of October. And this is Hello from Liz Mathews, and it's just called Boo. Very, very cute. All right, now we are going to get into the whip pile. So these are in order in which I worked on them this month, and I'm just going to move this pile closer to me really quickly. I have them all stacked up semi neatly. But you know, best laid plans. So the first one is, I'm gonna show you the pattern first. So this is Don't Be Scared, and it's this little Halloween trick-or-treater scene. Got a little witch, little puppy dressed up like something, some other trick-or-treaters, and this is from the Halloween 2022 issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine, and I have been stitching on this for a long time. And this is where I am. This is a big, I'm going to show the whole, it's going to be, I think, till like right about here. And so I've got this is almost a page finish. But I keep getting distracted and wanting to stitch fun things, so I haven't finished the whole page here because this moon. Anyway, so this is where I am. This is 14 count Picture This Plus in the colorway Flapper, which is this really beautiful mottled purple. And it's stitched with all the called for DMC, and I think I'm about to get a visitor. Hey bud, what are you doing? I don't know if you heard that squeak, but that is Journey and his alligator, and he might be coming to say hi. Hi bud, what are you doing? All right, he's not coming to say hi, so if I'm smart I will cut that out, but if not, you'll just hear me talk to my dog, who y'all can't see, but he's being a cute boy. So anyway, this is let's see, it's original artwork by Kim Leo of Kim's Cottage Art, cross-stitch adaptation by Elizabeth Spurlock. And I've been stitching on this since I think fall of 2020. And I actually made really good progress this year. I got a lot down here. I mean, it's basically full coverage, the whole bottom. So I just really like this. And so hopefully next year. Well, no, I'm guessing this is more like a 2020. What year is it? 2023. If I have this done by Halloween 2026, I'm going to call that a win. So anyway, there we go. This counts as my first Halloween whip, and then it lives. This is a project bag that I made. I think this is Alexander Henry fabric, and it's just got some cute little charms on it. Most of my Halloween whips are the only projects that actually all are in bags that I've made that actually are like themed to the project to the best of my ability, because I have a lot of Halloween fabric and I like them, so they got a little bit of more priority than my Christmas whips or even my non-holiday themed whips. So my next project, so this is Silhowitches Quaker by Teresa Kogut. I really like this. I think I bought this. This came out in, doesn't have the year on it. I think this came out in like 2021, and I think I started it. Either came out in 2021 or 2022, and I started it I think in April of that year. And I'm working on like this bottom corner. I started in the center, went down, and went over. And so my goal is to actually get this little witch done this year, but I have not done that. And so I'm stitching it with the Cauldron floss, which is a variegated brown black, and then there's like a lime green in it. You see Frankenstein, he's green. But I'm stitching it not on orange, I'm stitching it on this, and I'm actually gonna leave it right on this. So this is, I'm stitching it on purple. Shocker. This is where I am. And I really like it. This is 32 count Lugana. This is by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers in the colorway Queen Crepe Myrtle, which is a really pretty, again, purple and green variegated. I have a type, I think. And the green is just really nice with there's only a few spots where the lime green's already in this, but they just looks really nice. So I was hoping to get, this is like a page down here. I was hoping to get that page finished and then just keep going up. I really like stitching from right to left, which it doesn't seem to be very common amongst cross stitchers, or at least I've never heard anyone, and I'm not saying I'm particularly interesting or unique, but most folks seem to like to stitch from the top left. I like to stitch from the bottom right. I think it's because I stitch in hand, and I stitch right to left. I don't know. But this is also a funky size piece of fabric because so I started in the center and went down and went over, and yeah, look at that little cat and that happy little pumpkin man dancing. So Silhowitches Quaker by Teresa Kogut. Lovely, lovely pattern. And another project bag by me, which has got these cute little cats and pumpkins on it. All right, now the next project is not Halloween, but was in the October issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine from this year. And so this is Starry Moth. This is by the Blue Flower, Janine McGowan. There is a stitch along for this. I believe it's hashtag Starry Moth Sal. And I've seen a lot of folks finish it already and stitch it on different colored fabric, and some people have changed the border, and there's some really beautiful versions out there. Mine is here, and this is where I'm at. That border is no joke. It is 5 solid rows of stitching. So I've been trying to put like a thread into the border and then do something fun on the moth and then go back. Because honestly, I've realized stitching straight borders is like one of my least favorite things to do. So I'm trying to make it as fun as possible. So this is also stitched on Erie by Forbidden Fiber Co. I just picked a corner of the fabric that basically has no green in it. It was just all purple, because it looked like, the purple that's in this, which is Smoky Violet from Barbarol Creations. And yeah, so I'm really, really happy with this. Hoping to get this finished this fall. I think that's definitely possible. And I'm stitching it. This is the called for DMC. All right, and it is in another project bag that I made myself that actually has little moths on it. I can't remember what fabric line this is from. But very, very cute little moths. All right, next, again, I know you've all seen this one a million times, and I'm going to say it this way every time, but someday she will be done. So I just, here we go. Dark Queen. She's beast. So I'm basically spent the whole month of October stitching this flower down here. There was a piece of this branch and this flower, and it took me, I think, 3 Saturdays of stitching, so probably 10-12 hours just on this part alone. And so I'm really happy to have it done, because I think now all the big flowers are done. The other option was orbs, and I just love those flowers. The folks that I had seen who had finished it already, like, they just, I mean, I'm always going to pick flowers, let's be real, but I think next month I'm going to try to do her feet. And then again, there's still no plan for her head. So I would like to get this done by the end of the year. I'm now realizing that's probably not reasonable with the amount of stitching that I know that is left, and the fact that I don't have a head plan, and then things I know that I want to stitch in November and December. So we shall see. We shall see. Again, I'm stitching her for me, so if she's not done, it's not like anyone's holding this over my head. But there we go. Dark Queen. She got work. She will continue to get worked on, and I'm showing her for, accountability purposes. She also lives in a bag that I made myself. This was a Ruby Star Society panel with butterflies on it. And then this is actually the selvage. It says, "She is fierce and ever-changing," from this Tigerfly line, which was by Sarah Watts. And I just stitched the selvage into the top of this. And then this is just some pretty gold. This is by Gingerbur from one of her lines. But this is my Dark Queen bag. And and if you didn't know, this is Autumn Lane Stitchery, stitched with all the called for DMC and the Under the Sea fabric, one of the fabrics. I have to imagine that most folks know that these ladies are Autumn Lane, and sometimes I forget to tell folks. So I love her. The next thing that I worked on, I'm going to pop in a photo of, because it's a PDF pattern, and the only I don't think I've seen a finished version of this yet. I think there's just the rendering from the pattern. So this is called Salem 1692 Sampler from Witch's Garden Craft. And I started this on October 24th of last year. And this is where I am. I've got the top 3 or 4 motifs done, and then the border. And I think it is charted and intended to be, I think, on a darker fabric, and I've used a slightly lighter fabric. This is Steel by Picture This Picture Fiber on a Whim, I think. Fiber on a Whim. And I'm also stitching another pattern on this, and so I've got the morbs, and that there's some pieces of it that are really green, but I picked the part that was more gray because it fit with the colors, the called for. It's all called for in DMC. I'm stitching it in random overdyes that, are honor the spirit of the DMCs. I will say the one thing that I might do is, this is 310. The spider is 310, and I feel like the spider is very dark compared to the rest of the colors on this fabric. So I might unpick him and pick one of a variegated black that's got a little bit more gray in it. So it's still, clearly meant to be, a black spider, but it's not. I just feel like that stands out so much on this. I'm going to stitch a little more and then see, but I'm really happy with this. I like the subtleness of it, and that's part of what plays into the fact that I want to change the spiders. Everything else blends a little bit, and it's kind of old. I feel like it's like old and faded looking already, even though it's brand new stitching. But like, yeah, look at that. Look at that. That skeleton motif. Just really, 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 really like this. And it's a little guy. It's going to be about 6 inches by 10 inches, so not super big. Yeah. So yeah, Witch's Garden Crafts. I think this is 40 count. linen and just random stuff from stash. And it's living in this bag that I also made, little patchwork project bag, with some cute Halloween fabrics for my stash. All right, so the next whip is, so I started using the Notion app, which I know a lot of folks have used, and I've been using it since probably August, whenever Stitchy Natty, her name's not T, not Natty, dropped her template, I purchased it. I had been like trying to make my own, and then I was like, you know what, somebody smarter than me has already figured this out. Why would I want to reinvent the wheel? So if you don't have it, it's lovely. If you watch Michelle Bendy Stitchy, she talks about it a lot, and they filmed a tutorial video, which I have to admit I haven't watched yet, so probably I'm missing a lot of things. But anyway, regardless of that, what I also did was I made my own Flosstube database, and which links to all of the things, and so I'm using that. You know, I've got categories for like FFOs and finishes and whips, and so I can link to the whip database, and then I can click on them as I go, and it's been super helpful. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing it all correctly, but it's working for me. So anyway, neither here nor there. The next piece that I've got is this one. So this is also from a magazine. So I'm going to put a photo in here. I think you can also get this on the web, on Stitch. It's Stitcherovia Emma Congdon pattern. It's called Midnight Magic. I think it's also available in her shop because it's from the 2021 issue of which magazine? Cross Stitcher magazine. And I have the pattern from that magazine because I have a digital subscription. And I started this in January of 2022. And my goal this year was to get the top bit finished, and I did. So it just says everything is, I can't remember where I was before, but I know I was missing a ghost. I didn't have the bats. I didn't have any of the words or all the pumpkin or mushrooms. So I'm really, really happy with this. This fabric choice is a lot lighter than the called for. I think the called for is basically a navy blue, and I've seen a lot of people stitch it on much darker fabric, and I think the colors pop more, but I really wanted to use, I always drop them. I always unfold these backwards. I really wanted to use this fabric. This is Wicked Night, or Wicked Nights by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. It was a fabric of the month, probably. I'm guessing it was the Halloween 2020 or the October 2021 fabric. And I just thought I could, like, you know how if you're quilting something or you're cutting fabric, you fussy cut so you can get like the little picture, the motif you want, especially if like you're doing English paper piecing or patchwork. I don't know what the cross stitch version of this, but essentially I if you will, with some creative license, I fussy cut the pattern and the fabric so that, this moon was kind of up here where you've got like this little bit of white, so it kind of looks like more clouds. And then I know the word, so it's going to say everything is better with a little magic, and I think the word magic is going to fit right here and like where this green is, and I'm excited to see if I counted properly. That's what's going to happen. So we shall see in 5 years when this is finished. But anyway, this is stitched with the called for DMC. And I am pretty happy with it. I will say there's some errors in the ghosts, but they're ghosts, right? Ghosts are pretty forgiving in terms of like their body shapes, right? So one ghost is the wrong color, and one ghost is in the wrong spot, and you'll never know. But yeah, I'm super excited to have that done. And now I think there's just a bunch of words left, and then pumpkins and stuff at the bottom. So yeah, Cross Stitcher 2021, and it's Emma Congdon, so you can get on their website. And this is just this is actually just like a little pouch that was made from some scrap fabric. And since I don't have a physical fab pattern, I like to use smaller bags for things that have digital patterns, because I don't need to put the big pattern in or what have you, and I stitch in hand, so I don't have Q-snaps or hoops or anything. So it's just hanging out, and I can wad it all up into a little packet and pop it in there. So that is exciting that is done. So I think that is my last That's my last Halloween project or even fall project. Oh no, that's not true. I've got some new starts that are Halloween. But in terms of whips, I have one more whip to show you all, and that is, so I'm stitching all of the 12 Days of Christmas pieces by Hello from Liz Mathews. I'll put a picture of the one I'm on here, which is the second day of Christmas. I'm not very far. But I've almost got it done, so I'm pretty excited. I got a lot. I've been trying to stitch. I've been trying to get these done because there are 12 of them, or there will be 12. I think she's only on like number 9, but there will be 12, and I'm on number 2. So this is an error down here where I had miscounted, and so I just left it and then started again, and I need to frog that. Maybe I think I actually can fully finish this without frogging it. So lazy. Work smarter, not harder, folks. Not lazy, smarter. So this is where I'm at. All I need to do is finish the snowflakes up here. Like this whole area's got more snowflakes. You can see there's a half finished one. I need to fill in like 3 stitches of blue there. And then I need to make a choice about this house. So in the pattern, all of the houses had initials in them. And I mean, presumably, you know, maybe you're supposed to put, you know, your family initials in there or what have you. Well, my partner and I, we don't have children. So his initials are here, mine, and then I turn this into a little doghouse for our puppy. And so this is either going to just end up being, it's probably going to end up being windows like this one. Because I can't really think of what I would put there. But yeah, so I'm almost done, and then I'm going to start I'm hoping to start the 3rd one next month. I think I can get this done in a day in November, and then get the 3rd one started. And I mean, I'm not going to get the 3rd one finished this year, because I already know what my plans are for December, basically. But next year, I'm going to make it a point to get maybe 2 or 3 of these done. Because the other thing is I was thinking to myself, what I'd like to do is frame them all the same and then do like a gallery wall, like a 3x4 wall of them in my house. And I'm thinking to myself, should I not fully finish them till they're all done so I can make sure like they're all in the same frame and the same style? Or should I buy 12 identical frames now and finish as I go? Because I don't mind if like I only hang up 1 or 2 at a time, because they're not super obviously 12 Days of Christmas. Like there are, you know, this could easily stand alone, right? Until you see them all together, you may not even realize, because of the way she designed them, that they are, you know, they are set. So these are the very important pressing things that you know, go through my mind. So anyway, someday I'll figure that out. But yeah, so this is again Hello from Liz Mathews, the 2nd day of Christmas. This is stitched with the DMC conversion. I think the pattern has a DMC and an NPI, and this is 40 count fog. I'm going to stitch them all on 40 count fog. I already purchased enough to just stitch them all. And I think it's really beautiful. I was questioning this pop of like light blue, but I think it just, until I added that, like it was a very green and red and yellow piece, and that's something about that just, I don't know, it brought the whole color palette together. I don't know. I'm not a designer, obviously. She knows what she's doing, but just super pretty. So, all right. So that was the last whip that I worked on this month, and which feels like, I feel like I didn't work on a ton of projects this month, but they were all big things that all got like a few days of work, and I'm really happy with the progress that I made. But it also feels like I didn't do a lot, but I know that's not true. I am just ridiculous. So the next thing, I've got 2 new starts. Well, I actually had 4 new starts, but you've already seen 2 of them. So the Quirky Quaker Witch Hat, hopefully will be a finish. The Boo by Hello, also from Hello from Liz Mathews, was a start and a finish this month. And then I have 2 more bigger pieces that are going to be longer term progress. And so one is this one. So this is Enchanted Quaker, Misty Purcell from Luminous Fiber Arts. This was my favorite thing from Market in this spring. This is the only thing that I wanted. and I held out for a long time, and then I bought it, and then I started it. I don't. This is one of the I have, you've seen now that I have many Halloween Quakers on the go. This is my favorite one that I've seen so far. I can't even tell you really why. I just really like it. So it started. It is, and I should probably just show it to you. I am working in, again, this bottom right corner. I started with that pumpkin, and this is what I have done, which is just that little pumpkin, the 31, and the start of that little boo ghosty motif. This is hand dyed by Rolanda fabric, and I just forgot the colorway. Hold on. Dusk. This is Dusk by hand dyed by Rolanda. So I'll show you the whole piece. How pretty. And you should all be shocked that this is not purple. But I was thinking to myself, does every Halloween Quaker I have need to be on purple fabric? And the answer is no, they really don't. Just because the other, well, two are, and two are on blue grays. So I guess that's not so bad. I can do something different. So isn't this gorgeous though? Let's just admire this for a hot minute. And then yeah. And this is DMC 310. No, 413. Obviously this is not 310, folks. This is DMC 413, which is just a nice gray. And yeah, I really a big fan of this. So nice. So pretty. Again, this will take me, this one will be on the whip pile for a long time. And here's another little project bag that I made myself with this fun fabric. It's got a lot of spooky things on it. This is Joann's. And I think, oh, I did. It's got, I did put the coordinating purple moon star fabric in there, and then I made a coordinating little thread bed. So my stuff lives very stylishly sometimes. And then some of it lives in plastic Ziploc bags. You know, you guys all know how it is. All right, so there is that. And then this is my big, that was a big new start. This is my other big new start. And, ooh, where's the pen? Oh, here it is. I didn't get this one out. I'm medium prepared for this. So this was my Dark 13, Friday the 13th start with Stephanie from Frolic Knits. And this is the pattern. This is All Hallows Eve Sampler by Joan Elliott. I saw this when I was at Shepherd's Bush this summer and absolutely fell in love with the version that they had on their wall. They had stitched it on purple. I'm also stitching one in purple. Spoilers. And here's where I am. This is on Forbidden Fiber Coat Erie, 36 count. And I started, well, so all right, so I intended to start in the middle, work my way up to this owl, and then work over, and then, do things around. I don't know if Stephanie has shown hers on her Flosstube yet, but she sent me photos. She started in the top left corner, so it's fun to see like the things that she's stitching down to, and then I'm stitching up. So it's fun to see her projects. I feel like I'm stitching those fun things too, even though I haven't gotten to them yet. But it's going to be about the size of this fabric. Now, small problem. Sort of a long, maybe uninteresting story, but basically my partner brought the flu home. And so he started getting sick like October 11th, 12th. We started this on the 13th. I'm blaming this on the fact that I was on some Dayquil and maybe not thinking straight, but I really wanted to start it because there was a plan and I wasn't going to not start this on Friday the 13th. And so I wanted to center start. And so, I feel like center starts are the easiest of the starts, right? Because you just fold your fabric and then you fold your fabric again, and like that's the middle. So what you can see here is then, based on what I just told you, is this is the middle, not this, which is about 1.5 inches too high. So I started it 1.5 inches too high, and I didn't realize it until I'd stitched all of this. And this section here, so many stitches. I am not frocking this. It is not happening. So this piece of thread here represents the top of the pattern. I counted up and then I just stuck this here. And then, so I would have this much, which is about an inch. I have about an inch margin if I stitch it as called for right now, which I could do. I don't mind small margins. I'm probably gonna frame this myself, so like I can lace this. I'm not worried about it. Also, it's gonna be like 8 years from now when this is finished. So yeah, that's a problem. The other thing I was looking at is this pattern, obviously. There's a giant alphabet here. I could take a row of the alphabet out and put some words in, because there's a whole alphabet. I can spell things, right? So one thing I'm considering is not stitching the alphabet and using those letters to write like All Hallows Eve. And then I could move some motifs around because there will be some empty space. I don't know. I am putting that decision on future Elizabeth's shoulders, and I'm just going to go down, and then I'm going to think about it for a while. Because honestly, like if that alphabet's not there, it's not the end of the world. If I chart some a different phrase, I think I saw on Instagram that some folks have done that. So it's not all lost, and I'm not frogging. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to make it work. And I wouldn't be heartbroken if the whole alphabet wasn't there, you know. So don't stitch on Dayquil, folks. And double check your center star, because it wasn't until I got to these little mice, and then I was like, oh, there's not a lot of room there for that whole alphabet and that top band. And I was like, no, I counted right. I know I did. Nope. So it's okay. It happens, and it's just cross stitch, right, folks? It's just cross stitch. I also made a bag for this. This is one of my favorite Halloween fabrics of all time. This was Spooky and Sweet from Art Gallery. They've got like 5 versions, and a lot of my stuff is in this fabric. But this gray colorway of these little witches was my favorite, and I don't have any more of it. So this is it. But anyway, go watch Stephanie's Flosstube for all the knits. She made a really, really cute bag for hers, and hers has a cross stitch panel in it, and I keep forgetting what the pattern was that she used, but I want to stitch that too. And she's stitching hers on, oh, I don't remember what color. I feel like her fabric is more closer to the, sorry, my floss fell on the floor, so I'm gonna pick it up, is more close to the called for. And she's using a toile, like an orange toile, for all the highlight bits, and so it's gonna be really pretty. I'm using Forbidden Fiber Co. This is all Forbidden Fiber Co. It ended up being, this is chalkboard, is the black, and then this is called Aspen Glow. I'm pretty sure this was a limited edition from one of the Starlight Stitchery boxes. Maybe the Winter Magic one, I feel like. But I figured if I was already using floss and fabric, that for the other ones, you know, this is just a nice yellow that's a little bit muted and it looks nice on the fabric. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. And I think I said that this is a Joan Elliott pattern. Hopefully I did. I'm excited I got that witch head started. So, and I'm going to work on that. So, all right, that's everything that I stitched on this month, which, yeah, a lot of bigger pieces. I'm at that point where all the little stuff is finished or fully finished, and I just really need to start cranking on these big things. And I feel like we all go, like I go in stages where sometimes, you know, it's really satisfying to get progress on something big, but then sometimes you just want that instant gratification of getting the small things done. And I had a lot of that in September and August, and so now it's big stuff, and then I still have, you know, I have plans. All right, so let's talk about haul. Oh my goodness. I have a little bit of haul. I have some fabric. I have some patterns that that Elizabeth, and I have the Cottage Garden Threads Hearts for Pam box. I'm not going to show all of that, but I'm going to show some of it. So let's look at fabric first. I got my 2 fabric of the months. Forbidden Fiber Co. This is really pretty. I don't have anything like this, so I was really excited about this piece. This is called Corinne, which I feel like that's a reference to a movie that I'm missing right now. Is that the mom in the movie? Anyway, I don't know what that's a reference to. I am not cool. But it's this really pretty, like, light orange and black mottled, and I think there's I've seen a lot of more prim, witchy Halloween pattern stitched on color like this, and I'm really excited to have this because I think I can get a lot of mileage out of this piece. And this is a 36 count linen. And then this is from the Fabrilicious Yummy Fibers. I don't know if I should say spoiler alert in front of these fabric of the months, but I feel like it's the end of the month and everyone hopefully has gotten them by now, but maybe I will think about if I should do that or not. Anyway, too late now. This is the October 2023 fabric of the month. This is Lugana 32 count. This is called Autumn Breeze, and it's a dirty green brown with a little bit of orangey, kind of an orangey red in it. Just a nice grungy, it's very grungy. I can see a lot of things being stitched on this. It's very similar to the fabric that I'm using for Stitcher's Grimoire, which was also one of their fabric of the months. That one's a little bit more green, and this is just a nice fall color. I also purchased 2 pieces of fabric from Lindy Stitches. She has all of the, I think these are Zweigart. Yes, these are the Zweigart Luganas, I've got 2 pieces of Zweigart Lugana, 32 count. This is Vintage Rose, which I think is beautiful. It's one of the printed ones. It's like Vintage Country Mocha, only it's pink. I had first gotten a piece of this in a kit that she did for Acorns and Threads from Acorn Gatherings this past year. Actually, it's right here. I almost knocked that over. And this is part of that pattern that she had made for Acorns and Threads this in January of this year, and I really liked it. And so she has got photos of all of these Zweigart Luganas on her website, and I think she showed them on one of her Flosstubes not that long ago as well. And it's just really pretty. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's just so nice. It's pink without being like in your face pink. And not that I'm opposed to in your face pink by any means. I'm 100% not. It's just pretty. And then I also got this color. Laughing at myself because it's purple. This is called Gray Moth. But it is, in my mind, this is lavender gray. And it's not gray mauve. There's no mauve in this. Mauve to me is I think folks, you probably remember back to the 90s where everything was pink and blue, was mauve and country blue. This is not mauve. This is a beautiful lavender, and I'm sure I will have no problem stitching a million things on that. All right, I'm going to show some Halloween patterns that I got, or yeah, they're all Halloween or fall, and then I'm going to show the Cottage Garden Threads stuff all as like one lump group. Hang on, I gotta get up and grab this group of patterns. I did some bad. I'm not going to judge myself for purchasing things, even though I do feel a little guilty, but I don't know why, because this is my hobby and this is what I like. But anyway, long story, long and unnecessary, but Hillside Rookery was having a sale. And I had never purchased from them before. I really do want to buy some of her silk packs, but I have not. I have not pulled the trigger because I think I haven't seen a silk pack that coordinates with a pattern that I'm like in the mood to stitch at the moment. As because her aesthetic is slightly different than mine, but I really want one, so I'm gonna make it work. But anyway, I got this. I've been wanting this for a long time. I've seen a lot of folks stitch this. It's called Witch. I love it. I love all. Yeah. I think who is stitching this? I think what's her name? Goodness gracious, Caroline from Evertoad stitched this. I feel like yeah, lots of people have stitched this. I might start this for dark or Black November. Black November stitching? Is that what it's called? Anyway, that thing where you stitch monochromatic stuff, usually with black thread in November, that Modern Folk Embroidery runs, whatever that hashtag is. I might not. But anyway, that's one. And then I have been also, as I think, I mean, it seems like the entire Flosstube community has been going crazy for the artsy housewife. I will say, this is the one that I bought because it's an owl and I love it. And I have been slacking on my stitching of owls as of late. And so I'm going to add this to my pile of owls new starts. I think I have at least 3 kitted up and ready to go, but clearly I needed another one. So yeah, she's just, look how cute she is. So I got that. I think this is my favorite, mostly because it's an owl. Not that there aren't other cute artsy housewife patterns, but the thing is this is the one I think I'll actually stitch. So I'm trying to at least be responsible on that front. And then I finally bought this. I've been looking at this for years, and I've seen so many beautiful versions of it. I finished all of my other Hello from Liz Mathews fall pieces, so I felt like I can start another one. I finished Sleepy Hollow. I finished Boo. I finished Two Pumpkins Bright. Obviously, I need another one to fill that void in my life, and it's going to be this one. What's it called for on Steinbeck from Needle and Flax in the DMC. I don't know what floss I'm going to use. I'm contemplating the Roxy Flosco conversion that I know you can get. My only thing is, and please don't laugh, I kind of want to make these pumpkins purple. Like one of those, oh, actually, you know what? I have the DMC right here. Like this. Like this is 3740. See how this is like a dirty purple? Like imagine that pumpkin, which that's very pink. And imagine just like this purple. I feel like it would be okay. So I'm thinking that, and obviously I'm not starting this year. This is probably a next year start, maybe April. I like to start Halloween stuff in April so I can like be prepared for the next year. But I am seriously contemplating working in this purple, and then if I do an over dye, it's finding an over dye that hits this note. So we shall see. Not neither here nor there, but and then I finally bit the bullet and bought this, which I know everyone and their uncle has seen, and 80 million people have started stitching. And I want to be on this bandwagon, folks. I want to be on the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow bandwagon, and I'm not mad at it. Oh, it's so good. It's going to be so huge. And I was just telling you all how all of my Halloween whips at the moment are huge, and they're never going to get done. And then I went and bought this. 2024, Elizabeth's going to have a lot of stitching to do. All right. That is that. Okay, now I'm going to show my Cottage Garden Thread stuff. And so I'm not going to show everything. I'm going to put a picture here. So this is what the box looked like when I first got it. And it was beautifully organized, and it was like so lovely to open. I was very excited. I'm going to show a couple of the things in right here on the video, and then I'm going to show the flosses, and then I'm just going to, there were 21 patterns, which is remarkable. Some of them were embroidery, because Cottage Garden Threads, I believe, originally wasn't, well, I mean, they're a floss company, but they focus more on embroidery designers. and they're folks using them for cross stitch, my understanding is relatively new, but I could be completely wrong. I haven't been stitching that long, but that's my understanding anyway, is they started out like catering to the embroidery industry and designers, and now they're jumping into cross stitch. So we got this, which is a nice little thread organizer, super pretty. A needle minder. This is HFP, Hearts for Pam 2023, on this little thank you card. This is happy stitching from all of the team at Cottage Garden Threads. Non-cross stitch thing is this. This is a tack it easy with you can't see, hang on. The shape is like a teardrop. Is that what it's called? It's a jewel petal. And they also sent like a sheet of the templates and a pattern. This is for English paper piecing. I think I'm going to try this. I like English paper piecing. I don't do it very often. But these look super cool. And if I like the jewel shape, I might buy the more traditional hexy shape, because I really like the hexy things. I'm going to show you the threads. I have them tucked away in this little bag. And I believe, and I only spot checked this, I didn't check every single color. I think every color that was in this box is in their regular line, so you can get them, which I'm actually kind of happy about, because while I do like having things, you know, all of us like having things that nobody else has, right? I think that's human nature. I do like that if I really like one of these colors, I can buy more. So we've got Hugs and Kisses, Bottle Brush, which is bright, Le Bouton, pink and red variegated, really pretty. Sleepy Cat, oops, dropped one on the floor, so I'll have to pick that up in a minute. Marigold, which is a really nice variegated yellow. Hold on. Conservatory, pretty mossy, olivey, maybe it's not olivey, pretty mossy green. Canard, which is a green brown variegated. Lima, I'm assuming it's Lima like Peru and not Lima like the bean, because it's this pretty blue. Hearth, which is a nice, very nice, doesn't have a ton of variegation in it, but it's a nice blackish gray. And then Page Turner, which is a pretty neutral. It's I feel like it's got a touch of green brown in it. It's nice. So anyway, the flosses are really nice. There were 10 of them, and just a nice set of colors that, you know, very versatile. And then this is the pile of patterns. They're all printed, which they're really very nice. I'm just going to show you a few of them, because I don't think I'm going to show any of the embroidery ones, and I'm just going to show maybe 5 or 6 of them. I know there are other folks who've done full unboxings of this. I'm just going to show a couple that I like and that I might actually stitch. This is Darling and Whimsy. Does it have a name? It just says, oh, stitched for a friend. And so it's a Quirky Quaker. And then in the pattern as well, which, because it's just the pattern, she also charted the words "stitched for a friend with my heart and hand." So you can stitch that, like it's charted like above and below. So nice. And then she gave, I think most folks did this, and I will double check. I believe they all got a set of the flosses to design with, and they also give DMC conversions. So that's Darling and Whimsy's. This is Bendy Stitchy's version. This is called Ace of Swords. So it's a tarot inspired. It says the Ace of Swords represents new ideas, new plans, success, breakthroughs, vision, force, intensity, and new beginnings. All of these describe this project, which Katie put together for her mom, Pam, and which I'm so very proud to be a part of. So really beautiful. And it's stitched on Venetian stone from Witchy in the Cottage Garden Threads. So really nice. The blue flower did a Seasons of the Heart. And so you've probably seen she's got these pillows for the seasons, like fall, winter, spring. And here's one with all the animals from Australia. Lindy's Stitches. This is called the Queen of Thread. Ink Circles had a pattern. Hearts Entwined. That nice styling with all the flosses in the bag that she made. This is Mojo Stitches. I really like this one. It's a quote from Zelda Fitzgerald. Nobody has ever measured, not even the poets, how much the heart can hold. Witchy Stitcher and true in her style. We've got a heart in a cloche. I like this. I've seen actually someone finish this already on Instagram. I can't remember who, but it popped up in my feed the other day and I was like, holy crow, because I think I've had this for maybe a week, so that's impressive. And there are a couple more that I'd like to show, but they the pattern and the picture are on the same page, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so really lovely thing, and I'm really happy that I was able to get one. I might give away some of the patterns that I don't think I'm going to stitch at a later date for folks who might want to have them. I don't want to be a pattern hoarder, you know, as much as I like my stash. So yeah, so that's all my haul. It felt like a lot, and now I'm at an hour filming, and I was hoping to keep this to 45 minutes, but that's not going to happen because I haven't talked about plans. Since October is not over yet, I'm not going to talk about November plans. My October plans for literally the next 3 days are hopefully to finish Quirky Quaker Witch Hat, to touch my final Halloween whip that I haven't touched yet, which is Stitcher's Grimoire by the Witchy Stitcher. I'd like to put a day into that. I haven't figured out what I want to stitch on Halloween yet. Usually I don't know what it's going to be this year. It might be All Hallows Eve sampler because that seems appropriate. And then I will talk about November plans in my next video because I haven't made them yet. There's a few folks that I'd like to just mention because they've shouted me out in their Flosstubes or we've chatted. And I know I'm going to forget some folks because I'm trying to remember everything for the whole month, and I don't take good notes. If I respond to something in the moment, it's in and out. But the folks that I can remember right now, and if I didn't mention you, I'm no shade. I just am forgetful. Miriam from Marumi Crafts shouted me out in her last video. So kind. Go check her out. She has, as you I'm sure all know already, beautiful designs and lovely color choices that are just, much very interesting. And, all of those good things. She had a beautiful pattern that's in, I think, just cross stitched in the next month. That's really, really, really pretty. Cross Stitch the Globe mentioned me in their last video and said some really kind things. I was so blown away when I started hearing them talk about me in their video, which, and I do really enjoy watching those two folks. Allison and Stephanie, they're sisters, and they stitch a lot of fun things, and they're putting out content like crazy, which is super cool. I think those are the folks that I remember. Stephanie and I, Frala Knits. I know she mentioned me because we started our stitch along, and so I'm excited to see the progress that she's made, and you should be too. And thank you also for all the comments and nice messages about my Halloween finish parade. I felt like it was a little over the top, but I fully believe that you should make the content that you also want to see. And I want to see more finish parades that are themed. And so I'm going to put that out into the world, and hopefully somebody else will be like, yeah, this is a good idea. Let's do this so I can watch them. you know, you should make the content that you also want to see. You shouldn't do the things that, and I keep in mind, I also recognize that all of the things I do on my Flosstube, 99% of them are what every other Flosstuber does. Like, not super cool. I'm not cool or unique by any means, but like, put out the content that you want to see, folks. Like, just because folks always do haul and plans, if you don't like haul, which I know there's a contingency of folks who don't want to see haul, don't put it in your video. That's cool. You know, if you don't like kit parades, don't do a kit parade. If you don't want to talk about, I don't know, whatever, don't do it. You know, there's room for all the flavors of Flosstube. So, with that, I am going to stop talking. I hope if you're seeing this on or around Halloween this year, you have a wonderful Halloween, whatever that looks like where you are. I'm hoping to get a few trick-or-treaters this year and that it won't be too cold. Last year it poured. We still had trick-or-treaters. I was shocked, but it poured. And yeah, it's about to be November. Winter is coming, and stay warm. Well, if you're in the northern hemisphere, winter is coming. So with that, I hope you all have a great week and month or what have you until I see you all again. And thank you so much for stopping by. Bye, folks.